Most welcome guests, and most especially Abhi. We had a story that was told to us that took us back to the year 2002 when he stepped off the plane from India, and you could tell he was a foreigner because he said where he landed was perfectly nice and quiet. He was describing Texas. Now he lives in California. He must realize what an armpit of universe he actually did land in. However, the story began with what you can call, as screenwriters call, an inciting incident. This is often the first, if you know about this trick, every time you watch a TV program, especially a movie, they've got to grab you in the first 5 minutes, or else you're going to start looking at your watch and thinking you walked into the right movie. And Abhi's inciting incident was the friend the next morning who told him, "Sorry guy, I've got an early test, you have to catch a bus." And this was, of course, what then led to the rest of the story. If the friend had said, "Yep, we're ready to roll," he wouldn't have had this story to tell. So the inciting incident was very clearly defined. And also, I felt that the structure of the story proceeded. It was a story about getting from A to B, and there were these challenges. Like any good story, you can't just say, well, okay, so I walked out the apartment, I got on the bus, I arrived 10 minutes later, and I took the test. It would be not a good story. And a good story has various challenges. And so Abhi told us the challenges were lack of sleep. He didn't mention that it was probably due to jet lag that he was awake all night, but flown from India, he probably had that problem as well. But it was the concern about the test, the anxiety about the exam, and then the fact he needed this map, and he obviously couldn't understand that maybe traffic goes on the other side of the road. I know it does from England, maybe it does from India too. Or maybe they don't drive on any side of the road in India, as we heard from another Toastmaster a few weeks ago. But these were all structural ways that he built up to the finale, which was, of course, the fact, as he closed out with the lessons, all good stories have morals, and the moral of the story was never be afraid to ask for help, never give up hope. And then I love the last little, almost throwaway line, good things like a bus always come. They have jokes about bus, you wait forever and then 4 buses arrive at once. But he got there in the end. And in terms of the language, I loved the way that his dialogue was evoked emotions. He was floating on a cloud in the friend's car when he rode in from the airport. And he said, like a little child not ready to let go of Dad's finger, he was holding on to his friend's wish he'd get a ride there. And he talked about the bus map being a map to hidden treasure. I felt, though, that in a couple of places, you're an engineer, right? Yeah, because only an engineer would think it would evoke emotion to describe the different cubic capacity of an engine. But unlike the 1.4 cubic capacitors, we have a 917 cubic capacity. This has obviously made all the engineers' hearts beat very quickly. I doubt if anybody else in the room was emotionally affected by that. Also, I would say the good thing you did as well was, just like Melissa at one point, you used your body language. You said about both directions for the bus. And so he used many of the skills that he'd learned throughout the first Competent Communicators Manual. We talked about the pacing, the structure, the body language. I did feel that you could have built up the emotion a little more. One of the tricks in the book, in the story that they give you, it gives you the name of a little boy, David, and you didn't tell us the name of your friend. If you said, my friend Max, or whatever he's called, we gave him a name. You can always make up a name if you'd have forgotten who he was 10 years later. It gives something more solid to the story. But overall, I thought that was a great story, and definitely got your emotional landscapes front and center. Thank you.